Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sepotato broadcast. We are on the air again. We are ready to do our show. We are ready to perform our entertainment duty to the masses. I am your guest host, Sepotato. In a moment here, we will have our primary host, Paprika, on the show. Paprika is going to talk about some amazing things today, some things that will boggle your mind. I don't know what they are. I don't want to know them in advance. I don't want to spoil it. I want to be surprised, as you will be, by the amazing things that she has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, my phone just went off. I need to check why it's dinging. I'm getting all kind of message notifications. I know this is a little bit out of the ordinary for the show because I should have turned my ringer off. But perhaps it's important. Perhaps it's some sort of emergency. Perhaps it's spam. But sometimes spam can be good. Apparently, somebody likes the cat pictures that I did send them of my cat. I've been waiting some time for that message to come through. Now it is officially confirmed that my cat is a cutie. This is very important for me to know this, which is why I did send it to all my friends, families, and business contacts. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been confirmed that my cat is Purty. Yes, I have a very cute cat. You see, my cat knows that it once was worshipped as a god in Egypt, and it has never forgotten this. It owns this place and merely allows me to live here and take care of it. But that's the way I like it. The same way I like these chips. I apologize for the disruption. Again, I should have turned off my notifications before starting the show, but you never know. There might be something important coming through. I'm still waiting to find out if, in fact, I am an heir to a large fortune in Nigeria. I will keep you posted on details as they come along. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sepotato and Paprika show. Again, we have no idea what we are doing for the show today, but Paprika, I assured, will tell us. I thank you for joining us. I thank you for allowing me to eat these delicious chips in front of you. I thank the good Lord for the 99 copper Abraham Lincolns that I was able to acquire in order to procure these chips. Ladies and gentlemen, I am about to start the show. This is the last chip before I begin. And I just want to say, it is an honor to serve you, to entertain you, and to eat this chip in front of you. Now, let's start the show. Okay, I think we are ready to do the show. So,
I'm gone.
You are gone. What happened?
Don't know. Something popped on my screen when you said record.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we lost Paprika. Paprika has disappeared. She's gone. We don't know where. I pray to God it's not the rapture. Because if it is, we're all screwed. Paprika, are you still there?
I am. I'm on my way to Jerusalem right now. No, it was a false alarm. I'm coming back.
Was it the Mormonism? Is that what kept me out?
I think so.
I knew I shouldn't have read that book. Just kidding. I've never been a Mormon. All right. Hang on a second here. I'm going to try to figure out how to bring you back in, okay?
Okay.
Hold on a second here.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having technical difficulties. We're about to start the show. I'm going to bring in our lovely guest host, Paprika, as soon as I figure out how to operate a computer. I unfortunately, it appears, Paprika, that although you are on the audio portion, you have somehow managed to remove yourself entirely from the webcast. You're going to have to go back into the link and come back in.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. Meanwhile, I'll take a moment to talk about our sponsor.
It said leave and join.
It says what?
It said leave and join. It says the host will let you in soon.
Who should we have sponsor our show today?
The Grinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sepotato and Paprika show is sponsored today by the Grinch who stole Christmas. You thought you were going to have a good Christmas? No, you are not. Thanks to the Grinch. That's right. If you are an introvert, if you have no desire to spend time with family members or friends during the holidays and you just want to veg on the couch, watch Netflix, and binge on bonbons, thank the Grinch, because the Grinch stole the Christmas from you. That is our sponsor.
He didn't steal it. He just regifted it.
Yes, he regifted Christmas, but he regifted it to other people who will appreciate it a lot more than you will. So that sounds kind of mean. All right, hang on a second here. I'm going to have to figure out these technical difficulties again. All right, so I think now, ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing more technical difficulties. Let's go to this little thingy here, and then I'll do something with this doohickey, which will lead me to this thingamabob, and then I can press that button, and we might have a solution here.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we're getting better. You're very, very tiny, but I think we can improve that. 1 second here. There we go. Now, you are no longer centered on the screen like you were before. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're too much the other way.
Okay.
A little more.
Are we gonna? Are you sure
you're still a little bit smaller than you were before too. I don't know why. Well, okay.
Let me go.
I think that'll probably work. That should work. Okay.
Are you sure we're not too close to each other?
No, I think it's kind of evenly matched on the screen.
I just playing around.
Okay. I think we're ready now. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sepotato and Paprika show. As I mentioned in my intro, I have no idea what the show is about. I've left that up entirely to our lovely guest host, Paprika, and Paprika is going to inform us what the show is about today. So, Paprika, what are we discussing?
Before I say that, I just wanted to mention about the Grinch, that we're sponsored by the Grinch today, and I have the Grinch chocolate kisses that I'll be eating during the show.
Oh, okay.
Instead of bonbons, we have the own Grinch.
Are they mint?
No.
Oh, that's surprising because I mean, he's green, so I would have figured mint chocolate, but no.
That's the idea, though. They should have been mint.
They should have been mint. I don't know who was thinking about the PR for that, but they should have made mint chocolates for Grinch chocolates for Christmas.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you like mint with chocolate? Because my neighbor, he doesn't really like that.
I'm so on it. It's okay. It's not the best, but I'll it's consumable. I prefer regular chocolate if I'm gonna have chocolate though. So our show today is brought to you by Chocolate and the Grinch. All right. Now,
so
we
were going to talk about the pageant that just happened in Israel.
The beauty pageant. When I was a kid, I grew up with 3 sisters, right? So when I was a kid, the beauty pageants were on TV from time to time. However, I'm kind of surprised today that beauty pageants still exist in the 21st century. You'd think that given all the differences and changes in our society, that really wouldn't be much of a thing anymore, but I guess it is. So what did you want to say about it, or what was your thoughts on it?
Well, first, what specifically do you think it's like outdated? Like, how is it like outdated for,
Well, I shouldn't say, okay, obviously they probably kind of like updated a little bit for the 21st century, but I mean, think about like the history of beauty pageants, that seems a little bit, I don't know, chauvinistic maybe. um I don't know if it's how do I choose my words and not get in trouble? um it seems a little bit like 1950s societal values, I'll put it that way.
I'm personally not offended by it, but they only had, I missed part of the beginning, and I think they had a swimsuit competition, but I missed that, and they had wearing a dress, and then 2 questions. And so I'm not offended by it, but I just thought it was just too flat. I wish they took out the talent show, and I wish they had the talent in there, and it does seem, if it's just going to be a question in a dress, that does seem like not very good for women.
So they kept the 19. I'm sorry, I was going to say that they kept the swimsuit portion, but they got rid of the talent show.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems even kind of a little bit more degrading, in my opinion. But
right, exactly. That's what I'm like. Yeah, it's still here, but it became a little bit more degraded now. So.
But I do like the question and answer sections when they do that, because there have been some very there's this one YouTube clip where there's a really funny answer for one of those questions where the person who was answering the question just unfortunately she, I think, had about like a 4th grade education level. It's you have to go see it. It's a clip. It's a famous clip on YouTube. And she got kind of caught in a corn maze trying to answer this question, and it was rather funny. So I shouldn't say the way I said it, but.
And what year was that from?
Oh, I think it was only a few years ago.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, it was kind of a famous clip on YouTube. So I can't remember what state it missed, like North Carolina or something like that. It was, my apologies, North Carolina, if that was one. But it was very funny because her answer was so not that great. I'll put it that way. That it was funny. So. But,
my problem with some of them was that person from another country, because my problem with it is that you're asking people that don't speak English to answer a question, and then there could be a communication and then they might not understand. They have an interpreter, but then I think they still talk back in English. Here this interpreter comes and he asks the question, and then they still answer it in English. And so then you're on the spot. You got to answer this question real quick, come up with something. And then I feel like there could be a communication barrier for those people not to do as well as some other people. I don't know. That could be.
Yeah, I could see where that could be an issue.
Yeah,
English is kind of like
there's not that thing in the middle that's could be a communication problem.
Yeah.
And then how do you answer the question if there's a little bit of a communication problem? Or let's say they understand the interpreter, but their English isn't good, so they can't really speak it so that, the judges can understand it quite well. And
it would seem a little bit skewed then towards people who have English as their first language. Yeah. Because they would be able to articulate a better answer naturally, I guess.
Yeah, so. I really do. I think there's a barrier there.
Okay. So... you had something that you wanted to talk about. You kind of brought this up before about the whole possibly talking about the beauty pageant kind of stuff, but you wanted to do something with the questions.
Oh yeah. I thought it would be fun if we do a pop question if we were in the pageant.
So you want us to ask questions to each other, beauty pageant questions? Yeah,
to see how well we would perform.
Okay. You do realize that there's no way that I will ever win a beauty pageant, right?
They do have a mixed scruffle, I think. A mixed scruffle pageant.
A mixed scruffle pageant? See, ladies and gentlemen, God made a few perfect heads, and then the rest he gave hair.
Well, I think if there was a men's competition, what 3 things do you think would be in the competition? Do you think it would be a bathing suit, a gown, and then a question? What do you think it would be?
There's a men's beauty pageant competition thing?
In If there was.
If there was. Well, there's like I think like a Mr. Universe bodybuilding thing or something, but I don't know. I don't know what the questions would be for. That's a good question.
No, like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, what competition would it be? Like weightlifting, or would it be like, you know, what could you imagine men doing for like a beauty competition?
I have no idea. I have no idea. That's a good question.
They could go down the runway and do like, I'm too sexy for your shirt.
Yeah.
How about like a Vogue action? Like, you know, Road Madonna. Vogue. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'll stick with football and sports. What's that?
If they had a talent portion, what would be your talent?
What would be my talent?
Yeah.
Oh, is this the first question or is this just a generic?
No,
this is a generic question.
No, this is just like literally, what would be your talent if you were in a competition and you had to do a talent?
If I was in a competition and I had to do a talent, wow, that really puts me on the spot because trying to think, what do I have that's a special talent?
I have an idea for you, but I wanted you to come up with one first yourself.
Okay. Well, I can do this. See.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Huh? Pretty good, huh? What do you think?
Okay.
Would I be a finalist or what?
I don't know how to respond to that. I actually had a vision of what you would be doing in your talent.
Okay. What's your vision for my talent?
It would be you with your cat.
Okay.
And your cat would be like going up a ladder, kind of. And then the ladder would go onto your shoulders. And then I don't know. I just something with
there is a cat circus. I think it's out of Russia or something like that. But there's
what you'd be. You would be the cat. What do you call it?
The cat whisperer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. There's another more powerful name than whisperer.
I'd be like, who are those guys in Vegas that train the tigers?
Yeah, those guys like that.
What was their name? Siegfried and Roy, I think that, right? Except with cats. Mm-hmm. So I could be like the Siegfried and Roy of cats. Is that the kind of the idea?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But it would be wearing like maybe a Packer shirt, like your cat.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that is my favorite football team. So. And
doesn't your cat wear a Packer shirt?
Yes. My cat has had for football games. My cat has had a Packer outfit on. Yes.
Right. And your cat
a bit of a mascot.
Hasn't your cat done a weird trick, like it was on your head or something, or like
my cat will sit on my shoulder. Yes, from time to time.
Okay. Well, then there's
that's something she's done since she was a kitten, and so she just always kind of kept doing that. So yeah, like a parrot, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could picture that being part of your talent.
Okay. I could see something, kind of work something out like that, though. So.
Right. And then your cat would kind of do a little bit of talking, and you would ask it questions, and then it would talk.
Well, it squeaks, and I have trained it to push buttons to respond to certain things, like asking for treats and stuff like that. It's got little buttons that it'll push. So, but
it would press a button, and then it would say, "I want Daddy."
Maybe, yeah, it's possible. Right. It is a very smart cat, I will say that. And for those out here who don't know what I'm talking about, the cat's name is Professor McFluffles. Professor McFluffles has its own YouTube channel, so just Google Professor McFluffles, and when you find the cat that pushes buttons on the YouTube channel, that is another word from our sponsor. Today's show is sponsored not only by the Grinch that stole Christmas and also chocolate, but also Professor McFluffles, the talking cat. Please check out her YouTube channel. So that was my little spiel to try to pump up her YouTube rating. In fact, maybe I will put a link in the description below to Professor McFluffles' YouTube channel so we can get more subscribers. What would you do? Go ahead.
Do you think that the Grinch is like a cat?
I think the Grinch is more like an angry cousin to Oscar the Grouch. They might be of the same family.
Ah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that could be.
So what's your talent?
Okay. Well, anyways, with our questions,
Wait a minute. What's your talent? If you had to go on a talent show, what would be your talent?
Oh, my talent,
Yeah.
I would probably like. I would do two things. Maybe the what is that called? That Shakira does that dance. Not belly dance, like a more like a conservative belly dance.
Oh, because you like to do you take the Zumba classes and stuff.
Yeah,
so something like Zumba. So dancing, basically dancing is what you're saying.
What?
Like dancing.
Yeah, it would be like a Zumba mixed with kind of like a belly dance type thing.
Okay. All right, because you have the Latino background, kind of a cultural thing. Okay.
And then where I would make like a poem, like a kind of like a dramatic poem.
Poetry. That'd be interesting.
Talking about your cat, because I made a poem called Kitty Cat, and that's what the poem would be called.
A poem called Kitty Cat.
Yeah. That's also sponsored, for the kitty cat.
Okay. I'll have to hear that poem sometime. Maybe you can say that on the show.
Yeah, I can do the kitty cat poem.
Okay.
For sure.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right. So you wanted to do questions. You had talked about this in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So hang on a second here.
Okay.
I have questions.
Okay.
If this is the subject, I assume this is where you're going with this. I have questions here that are like beauty pageant type questions. Did you have the same?
Yeah.
Okay. So you wanted to ask each other these beauty pageant questions as a show idea. All right. All right. Did you want to go first? Or did you want me to go first, or how do you want to do this?
I can go. I thought we would ask each other two questions. We'll take turns because they ask two in the beauty pageant.
Okay. We can do that.
So, you can ask
ladies first. I will let you go first.
Okay. So are you going to pick it out of the...
I will pick it out of this here. I'll pick it out of this lovely golden toilet plunger.
Oh nice.
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
I feel like princess.
Well, actually, it's also for the winner of the pageant. It's a trophy too. It's actually it's a trophy, family trophy for winning a horseshoe contest that I happen to have here. But when you turn upside down, it also works as a toilet plunger to pick the questions out of the toilet plunger, out of the hat. So
okay.
It's kind of like the Olympic torch, but really, really kind of like downgraded. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So this will be the I'll use this for it. What's that?
I'm gonna put that one right there. Okay.
Oh, but did you want to go first? Ladies first. You can ask the questions first, or did you want me to ask questions first?
I want to answer it first.
You want to answer first? Okay. So I'm gonna just grab top one there.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're gonna do two, right? So I'll grab another one here. All right. So now we got two. Now let's see what questions we have here today. Okay. The first question I have here for you is, now again, this is to be, what's the name of the beauty pageant here? Miss Internet, maybe? Is that a thing? Miss, let's see. Miss World Wide Web, how's that?
Okay.
Well, that might be a thing. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of it, but I would be surprised if somebody already is doing something like that.
How about Miss Grinch?
Miss Grinch. All right, there you go. Miss Grinch. Okay. The Miss Grinch beauty pageant questions. You could be the next Miss Grinch. So here's the question we have for you. Question is, some people think that cats are better than dogs. Others think that dogs are better than cats. How would you bring the world together on this divisive topic?
I would have all the cats and dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I would have them bark and meow 3 words in their language with the buttons. You know, the buttons that you use.
Okay.
And we would have a button for everybody to paw, and there would be 3 buttons. One would be love, unity, and peace. And I would have all of their owners every day. They would have to press the button. love, unity, and peace. And then finally, they would all be able to press them at the same time.
And the world will come together over love, unity, peace, and dogs and
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah, because every day pressing the buttons, when the owners press the buttons, it would just sink. It would be like a medication sinking into your head every single day.
Like
love,
a mantra.
Unity, love, peace, unity, and they would have to shut off the dog TV, the cat TV.
Okay.
Off completely, just turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
And so no more Goofy, no more watching Goofy, no more watching Garfield.
Okay.
Just off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just love, press the buttons every day. Love, unity, peace, and that's how I think that would work.
And this would help by turning off all the TVs around the world.
Right. Exactly.
And you do realize that this pageant is for a television character.
This pageant is what?
Is sponsored by a television character.
Well, it
It's
would
the
only,
Miss
it would
Grinch
only
pageant.
be for a season, maybe.
What's that?
It would only be for like a season.
Oh, okay. But not during Christmas, right?
Take a break from it.
Not during Christmas, because we got to have the Grinch during Christmas, right?
Yeah, we have to have the Grinch.
Well, actually, if it's a Grinch, it's still Christmas. All right, I like it. I like your answers. Okay, let's do this. You wanted me to do 2, right? You said.
No, but I'm gonna ask you one now.
Oh, okay. All right.
So since I didn't have mine in little papers, I just wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're just gonna have to pick a number 1 through 5.
Let's do number 4, since that's the one that I just read for you.
Okay. Oh yeah. So what would you do to help the manatees that are being like abused by people and they're being molested by people?
What?
That's what I read.
This is a thing?
Online. What's the problem?
There's people in this world that are molesting and abusing manatees? That's a real thing?
That's a real thing. And actually, one of the problems is that the boats in
Oh
Florida,
my gosh.
it's the #1 killer of manatees. How would you save the manatees in the world so that they're not abused, molested, and killed by boats in Florida as the #1 killer?
Okay, well, for those for those that are molesting manatees, I would suggest the harshest prison sentence possible, allowable by law. Lock them up and throw away the key. That would be the first one. As far as the boats, I think we would the only correct solution is to dig a canal around the entire coastline of the United States, specifically for marine traffic, that is completely separate and devoid of the manatees, in order to allow them to their own environment, free from any aquatic predators, man-made or otherwise.
Yeah.
And I also think that we also need to erect a giant statue of a manatee, probably in Miami, that will draw attention to this issue of the loss of the manatees and the horrible circumstances that are going on. Man, I'm still shaken up about that. Yeah, throw those guys in jail. What the heck?
The guys with the boats, or which guys?
The molesters. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing.
I don't know. It's a real thing.
No, it's not.
I looked it up and it said, "What is the main problem with manatees?" That was said, abused and molested.
Okay, they're using that word differently then. I'm certain they're using that word differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that word could mean several things. Hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Those will be my answers.
So that's how humanity would help manatees.
That's how humanity can help the manatees. Correct.
Okay. And I really like the thing with the statue, just to remind people for the awareness, right?
What's that?
For awareness, to have the manatee statues.
Yes, and we can also have merch. We can make like coffee mugs and stuff to distribute to bring awareness. But they won't be coffee mugs. They'll be for tea instead of coffee, and then they'll have a man on the front, so it'll be a man and tea kind of cup thing. And
wow!
And we'll make T-shirts with a man and a manatee, so be human and tea T-shirts. See how that kind of goes. So
yeah,
That's my thought process on it. Because
Okay.
if there's a way to make a buck off it, why not?
I really like your answer on that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
That's
All right.
good.
So next question for you. Are you representing any state or country or anything like that? Or because usually aren't these like, like miss you don't have to. You could pick a planet.
Yeah, probably like a green planet.
A green planet? I don't think we have any green planets.
Yeah.
Miss Krypton?
Okay.
All right, Miss Krypton. All right. Miss Krypton, your next question here. Climate change is a serious issue. One of the largest volcanic eruptions in history occurred in 1883 from the famous volcano Krakatoa. If you could go back in time, how would you stop it from erupting?
And what was the name of the volcano?
Krakatoa.
Okay, that's crazy.
The largest, I think it's one of the largest volcanic eruptions in history, 1883.
I would probably build a wall all around it.
Okay, so you're going the Trump route.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would build very tall. I know some people would get mad at me. It would be very controversial.
Sure.
But I would, what?
I like the answer. Keep going.
I would just keep, be building a big wall, a circle wall,
Okay.
all around the area. Like,
Okay.
be prepared. Like, you know this stuff's coming with the science now.
Right.
So you have to keep building and building and building it just so tall so that when it squirts out, it's so tall, it just stays all inside.
Okay. Would you make Mexico pay for it?
Where is the volcano? Where is it again?
Indonesia. It's in Indonesia, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think it would be fair for Mexico to pay for that.
Why not?
Because it's in Indonesia.
So? I mean, you don't want us to pay for it, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I'll probably a little bit.
What's that?
Yeah, I guess we could. I guess every nation would have to pitch in.
Okay, but Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just went because I figured, it worked once before. And...
Yeah. So Mexico, yeah, everybody would have to save humanity. It would save lots of lives, and everybody would pitch in to do it. So, what do you think about the wall? I mean,
which wall? The Krakatoa wall?
Yeah.
I could see that happen. Yeah, it would take a little while. I mean, humanity's pulled together. They've done it before. We did it in China a few thousand years ago, so it's possible, I guess. I don't know. It'd have to be a pretty darn strong wall, though.
Well, we would make sure that it wouldn't have any cracks in it for sure. We would have it's double inspect, no cracks.
Double inspect, no cracks. Okay.
Because it was called Krakatoa, so we
Krakatoa.
In the wall.
Krakatoa. Yeah.
Krakatoa. Wow.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
What's that?
Nice. Whoever picked that word, very nice.
Well, I think someone was walking along and then they accidentally bumped their toe into the volcano, and that's what it's been called ever since.
Right.
Krakatoa.
Okay, well, that's my answer to solve, climate change, basically.
Okay. My apologies to the nation of Mexico. I was being facetious in case you hadn't figured it out. So.
All right.
All right.
So, okay, now it's my turn to ask you a question. So you're number 4, right? So we still have 1 through 5, but not number 4.
What's that?
1 through 5, but not number 4.
Let's go with number 1.
Okay. What would you do to solve world hunger?
I would give everyone food.
Okay.
Perhaps start with barbecue potato chips, kind of work our way up, maybe some Grinch chocolate, kind of go from there.
And how would you distribute it to everybody?
Probably through various modes of transportation. So I'm thinking airplanes, ships, get the food to the areas.
And where would you get the food from?
Trucks to get them there. I would say places where it's grown. So usually farmer fields.
But would the farmers would they be like, would you just be snatching up their stuff, or would they be like?
You mean like against their will and just distribute it whether they like it or not?
Right, like Robin Hood. Would you just be like a Robin Hood?
Well, that's a little more like Karl Marx than Robin Hood. So that's a good question. How would I can institute worldwide communism and redistribute the food to everybody in order to solve the issue. And really, I shouldn't make light of this issue because it's actually kind of a serious issue. So, let me think about that one. All right. How would I solve world hunger? I think I would start with it being, I almost want to give a serious answer. I think I would start with it being a moral conundrum where different places in the world, we have to deal with the morality of those particular countries first. So maybe the preaching the gospel in order to bring in good governments. And then this would allow us to enter in with different aid groups. And plus, if more people, if the gospel spreads around the planet, more people would be loving and giving and caring, and they would contribute and help others and provide food and care for others. And that would just increase to the point where it would help others. So maybe that's an idea. I don't know. The Bible says the poor you will always have with you. So I don't know that ever can truly be solved, but at least not in this world in this time. But that doesn't stop us from trying. So.
Right.
That's my more serious answer than my joking answer.
Okay.
So, because really I shouldn't be joking about that. That's a pretty serious topic.
Yeah. What about since the Grinch is sponsoring our show today?
What's that?
What I said, since the Grinch is sponsoring our show tonight.
Yeah.
What do you think about how he likes to solve world hunger?
That was a clip from the movie, wasn't it? It's like, on a schedule of things to do is solve world hunger and then don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was his answer. It's like he was going to figure it out, but then he wasn't going to let anyone know what the answer was.
Right. What is your take on that?
Well, it was a scene in the movie. It was supposed to be humorous. So
right.
I only saw the clip. I never saw the whole movie.
Okay. Well, you don't want to since he's sponsoring too, right?
What's that?
You don't want to offend him too much since he's sponsoring the show, right?
That's true. And after all, the pageant is for Miss Grinch, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Okay, is it my turn?
Yeah. How many questions did you ask me now?
I've asked you 2 so far. How many have you asked me so far?
Doing, I think.
What's that?
We're only doing 2 questions.
Oh, I had 5.
Oh, were we going to do all of them? I thought we were just picking.
Well, I thought we could do, can always edit out the ones that aren't funny.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if you want to ask me another one, you can.
All right. Pick a number between 1 and 5. But it can't actually pick a number between 1 and 3 because that's all I have left.
Okay, 3.
3. Okay, 3 is it's Christmas time again around the world. Pretend for a moment, if you could, that you were an elf. What would you make as a present for the world?
What would I make for a present for the world?
Yes.
For the whole, they only get one present?
Yes. If you could only make one present for everybody in the world, what would it be?
It would be that they would be immune to like all diseases.
Nice.
Cancer, anything you can think of. So
nice.
Anything, they would just, this gift would just give them complete 100% help.
Okay. I like it. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess how you would answer that question.
If I was an elf, what would be the gift that I would give to the world? I would probably make a videotape raising awareness on the negative and detrimental effects of elf slave labor.
Really?
In hopes that I would be freed.
In hopes that
I would be freed from Santa's workshop.
That you would be.
Yeah. Just a thought.
I see.
Raising awareness.
Okay.
All right. So now your turn.
Okay, so you already did one. You already did four.
Just you can go ahead and pick a number.
Just give you one?
Yep, just give me one.
Okay. Let's see. Do you ever think that world peace could be achieved, and how so?
Yes, when Jesus Christ returns, there will be world peace because he will be King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He will rule the entire planet, and there will be peace and harmony everywhere. So yes, it will be achieved, but not until that day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe.
Okay, yeah, I agree on that.
Yep. All right, so we both had the same answer on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, let's see. I did 3. So you got question 1 or question 2? Which one would you like?
2.
All right. Let's go with 2. We're working our way backwards here. If you could bring back any animal in history from extinction, which one would you bring back and why?
Oh, then I know that right away.
Okay.
Right away.
Okay.
The unicorn.
Sorry.
No, I feel like you're laughing because you're saying it was never existed, that it's myth. But I believe that it did exist. I know you're thinking this is like, oh, this isn't a real animal, but I do believe that they existed. I believe that was it the tabernacle or something? They made the fur.
Yes, they are in the Bible. That is true. But I think that's more of a translation issue. My personal belief on that is it's actually referring to rhinoceroses.
See, I don't believe that.
Okay, so you believe there actually was an actual unicorn?
In the I don't really get into what's the Talmud very much.
Okay.
And I think in there it did say something like it was a colored, and it just sounded like everything that they said in that one.
Really?
Didn't sound like a rhinoceros. It sounded
so there may have really have been rainbow unicorns.
Well, according to the Talmud, supposedly, if I remember correctly, that it only existed for the making of the top of the tabernacle or something.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out.
The fur, like they sacrificed it specifically it was like made for the tabernacle.
I'll have to check that out.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but that's just like something in the Talmud, something to that effect was in there.
Okay. That is on my list of things to study. That's pretty interesting, actually.
I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that it's not 100% mythical.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now, question. Your turn.
Oh, okay. So, this one, I don't know if I should ask you this, but I'm going to ask you the same question.
Okay.
Is it okay if I ask you the exact same question that they asked at the pageant?
Sure.
Okay. So many people think climate change is a hoax. How would you convince them otherwise?
Probably using subliminal psychology techniques imposed into various social media sites, the internet, etc., television, music, movies, and work with high-profile psychologists to ensure the efficacy of said tactics to a point where I can bend their will to whichever persuasion I wish to direct them to. So if I wanted to solve climate, and then also I would probably try to orchestrate or world events in order to like weather patterns and stuff like that. Maybe do some cloud seeding kind of thing to get some airplanes out there, put some stuff in the clouds, make storms and stuff like that. Because if people see bigger storms, then they're going to be more concerned about it and they'll want to do something about climate change. So maybe sometimes helping that along a little bit. And then let's see, what else would I have to do? Everyone has to use bicycles. And so they'll all get mad that they have to use bicycles instead of cars because they'll be.
Would it be like a bicycle mandate?
Yes, a bicycle mandate.
And right away, when you became Mr. Pageant,
yes,
you would put how quickly would you put the mandate in place?
Oh, immediately, without question. And then everyone would have to. I mean, even our shipping industry would all have to be by like rickshaws and stuff, right? So no more semi trucks, no more trailers. So the entire society will have to go to bicycle type mode transportation, and they'll be so irritated about the fact that they're having a bicycle everywhere that they'll realize the error of their ways in bringing this about, and they'll all work together at that point to bring back automobiles, and so therefore they'll work on climate change issues until they can achieve that again. And when they do,
just it wouldn't backfire, and they would just get mad about it.
well, maybe, but that's what armies are for, right?
Mhm.
You know, that's why we have jets and stuff, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, you did pretty good. That was a real question from the pageant. So yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. Okay. Next question. So the last question I have for you is: the world is okay. I'm sorry. Let me start this again. The world is facing unprecedented problems and challenges. In 30 words or less, how would you solve them all?
I would solve them all by having the gospel preached to everybody, and I think that would solve a lot of problems.
Amen. I like that answer. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Good
Now,
answer.
if I said that on the pageant, what do you think? Do you think I would be eliminated pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think you'd lose pretty quick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunately the world we're living in now, but that is, in my opinion, the correct answer. So
Right.
based on all that, judges, what do you say? Yes, I am the first runner-up, and you are the new Miss Grinch. Congratulations.
Oh, I had one last question.
Oh, hold off.
If you want to
Okay.
make sure.
Yep,
Hold
yep.
on.
If I still got a shot at this, let's go for it.
Okay, here's the very last question.
Okay.
What would you do about bullying in the world, and specifically between like sea lions?
Bullying between sea lions?
Mm-hmm.
So
That
like,
there's a sea lion aggression going on. But I mean, it could be just general bullying, but you could also address.
is this sea lions who are bullying other sea lions, or is this like sea lions that are walking into, schools demanding lunch money from kids? What kind of bullying is going on here exactly?
They're just bullying each other. Like the bigger guys, the bigger sea lions, they're bullying the littler guys.
Okay. So I think the first thing to do is we'd have to have some sort of sea lion sensitivity training classes. So we'd have to sit them down with a therapist and work through their sea lion issues. Perhaps these are long-stemming family issues, deep-seated issues, perhaps related to trauma. I don't know. But we need to have sea lion sensitivity training and help work through the reasons why bullying might take place amongst sea lions.
Mm-hmm.
We also have to look at the environment to see if there's anything that climate change might be doing to affect this. Perhaps the change in climate is spurring sea lions to become more bullying, bullies and stuff like that.
Yeah. You're right. I
Yep.
never thought of that.
And then in addition to that, I think we also need to form another canal around the Arctic that sea lions can use exclusively for them, just in case the shipping industry in that area, or it might be affecting the sea lions somehow and irritating them to the point where they become bullies. So I think we need a couple canals is what we really need in this world. We need a big wall around a volcano, and we need like some canals built, and I think that'll solve all the world's problems.
Wow, you really got. Maybe they don't need to see a therapist now because it looks like you might.
I've thought this through. Yes.
What?
I've spent many sleepless night working on this problem.
Oh, you've already been.
Oh yes,
problem?
yes.
Mm-hmm. So you think that the shipping, like the whole thing with the shortages and the supply chain, that they were disrupting the whole sea lion thing, and they're like, hey, what are all these guys just hanging out at the beach?
Are sea lions in the Arctic, or are they in warm waters? They're in warm water. Well, wait, are they both?
I'm not sure.
Because there's not really much shipping in the Arctic, I guess.
Oh, okay. But so then they wouldn't be disrupted by that.
No. Well, but we should do it anyway, just in case.
Okay.
I mean, just the gesture alone, once they realize the magnanimity of what we're doing, that alone should change their attitudes and make them more peaceful creatures.
Yeah. And then maybe that could even help like humanity. Like if it could teach children bullying if they watch the video on the sea lions and how they.
Perhaps we could get some former sea lion bullies to come in and speak before the schools. Like put on a school assembly and have a sea lion come in and address the issue.
Right.
We may have to have a translator there because I can only imagine what that would sound like in sea lion. Do you think sea lions are like the king of the sea, kind of like lions are the king of the jungle?
Well, I don't know how much time they spend in the sea, so I don't know if it would be fair to have other animals that spend like like a manatee. Do
you think that they're the kings of the shorelines, perhaps the beaches?
It would have to be the beaches because the manatee, he's in the water he's like in the water like 100% of the time, and the sea lion isn't. So how could he be the king?
Well, because he has that special power of being able to leave the ocean whenever he wants. That gives him an advantage over manatees.
Yeah, that's true. What would you rather have? A manatee for a pet or a sea lion?
Would I rather have a manatee for a pet or a sea lion? Can I have both?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could fill up the bathtub with some extra water, and I got a pretty big sink in the kitchen, so I could switch them off. Like one could have the bathtub one night and the sink the other night.
When I was looking up the questions to ask about the manatee for you,
yeah,
I just came across that like Christopher Columbus, he thought that when he saw a manatee and some other explorers saw the manatees, they thought they were mermaids.
Maybe they were mermaids. Hey, if there's unicorns, maybe there's mermaids.
But then they said that, I mean, they were just a little shocked because they weren't as cute as they expected.
Speaking of cuteness.
What?
Speaking of cuteness.
Aww.
Somebody wanted to get into the film. Actually, to be honest with you, if I had to choose between a sea lion and a humanity, I'm going to choose Professor McFluffles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you win, Mickey. That's my nickname for her.
Right.
She looks kind of like a lion.
His name is Mickey for short.
Yeah. Mickey is trying to be a star right now. This is what cats do. Whatever I'm doing, the cat gets in the middle of whatever I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, you got to get out of the shot.
I was thinking we could I don't know if you have your laptop with you, but there was some funny names to some of the women that they were from countries that I never heard of before.
Okay.
I don't know if it would be hard to find out what those countries were.
Wait, say that again?
There was all the different countries.
Yeah.
Where all the contestants were from, and there was some in there that I never even heard their names.
You didn't know what countries they were from?
I mean, I just never heard of that country before in my life.
Oh, well, that'd be kind of interesting to find out too. I'm not the world's best at geography, that's for sure, but that would be kind of curious to look up some of those countries.
We could try to guess where they're from.
Where the country is located,
or what area.
Yeah, we could do that if you wanted. I would have to use Google or something, which I can't really do that right now because I'm using that very laptop for this broadcast. Okay. So what do you want? Do you want me to guess and then see how close I am?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a test of my geography skills.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on a second here. As you can tell, my cat wants to be in the show. All right.
Oh, he's ready for the whole talent show. It's your turn.
Yes.
Your chance to give a glimpse now to the world of what your show would be.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do my best to try to figure out what is it going to be, what region, what continent? Well, you say the country and I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay, I will. I'm just trying to get us loaded.
Because
here.
Of course, Americans are notorious for not being very good at geography.
Oh, they are? I didn't know that.
I think that's one of the stigmatisms around the world is they're kind of known for not being all that best with geography.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think the Grinch is an introvert or an extrovert?
Ooh. I think he's an introvert.
I do too.
Yes.
I think
he prefers to be by himself, and he's kind of grumpy when he has to do otherwise.
yeah. And what makes you think like he likes to do things by himself?
Because he seems to, I don't know, doesn't he live by himself? Isn't that kind of his MO?
Oh yeah. Well, what about, is there a dog? I forgot. Does he have a dog, or is that like?
If it is, I don't remember it. I haven't seen it for quite some time.
Dogs with reindeer antlers or something. I don't know why. I don't know if
maybe. Yeah, I wonder if there was something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen it. My cat is getting into things.
Yeah.
Because that's what my cat does.
Wow.
Nikki, you need to come here. Come here. You can't. My cat is trying to chew up important papers in the middle of my broadcast.
Really?
Right, I'm going to whistle my cat over because it comes when I whistle.
Oh my God.
Come here. No. Now she's meowing at me. There we go. Okay. Come here, baby. All right.
Oh yeah, we heard of that. Bahamas, we heard of that. Oh, here, that's one of them. I have to get something real quick. So we're cutting this up, right?
Possibly, but now with the cat in the shot, it's going to look like a weird edit if I cut it out.
Oh, okay.
But that's all right. We'll work around it. I'll work around it.
Okay. So, okay, here we go. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so there was one called Miss Bahrain.
I know where Bahrain is. That's in the Middle East. Yeah. Like I think in the Persian Gulf area.
Bahrain?
Yeah. Bahrain.
Okay, so look it up to make sure. Are you 100% sure?
I would say I'm almost 100% sure.
Okay, let's see. Where is Bahrain? I never heard of that. Where is Bahrain? It is, officially the Kingdom of Bahrain is in a country in the Persian Gulf.
Yep. That is correct.
So you got that one right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. They're just going through. I know this one, but I don't know if you would know it.
Okay.
Curacao. I'm not sure if I'm saying it, but it's Curacao.
I want to say I've heard of it. Curacao. It almost sounds South American, but I don't think there is any little countries like that in South America. So, Curacao. I'm gonna say.
I'm pronouncing it wrong because I know that's not the way you pronounce it.
I'm gonna say West African coast. I'm not sure. Like maybe by Somalia or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the coast of Venezuela.
Okay.
Okay, let's look it up.
I mean, the name sounds South American.
Yeah. I think I might have even been there.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird. Why is it saying? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no. Yeah. It lies on the continental shelf of South America.
Must be a micronation.
It's
or is it an island?
It's an island.
Ah, okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's an island.
Okay.
And I wonder if this was the first time that this is, I don't know, has this always been in the pageant, or was that new? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
How many islands? You know? So
Right.
is there like a person for each island? You know?
Good question. I don't know.
I'm trying to see if there was any other one. Oh wait, this one. Well, okay. Equatorial Guinea.
That's in Africa.
Oh, you know that for sure?
No, but I'm guessing it's in Africa.
Okay, Equatorial Guinea.
Yep. Okay. Now that I'm covered in cat hair. One of these days, I'm going to collect all this cat hair and build another cat.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that is in Africa.
Okay.
And it is, it looks like it's right by Gabon, if you know where that is.
Nope, except that it's in Africa.
It's kind of close to Cameroon.
Okay.
So, but to Africa, why did you say just Guinea? What, how did you know that it was Africa?
I think I heard of that one before.
Okay.
Hang on. I may have to kick my cat out of the room because my cat is really getting into things right now.
All right.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. See if there's any other. I think there was one more that was weird. Let's see if there's any. Oh, I think I know this one. Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, that's a former Soviet republic. That's by like Afghanistan, that area.
Right. But in my mind, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Borat movie.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
What?
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
You know that how he refers to that all the time?
Yeah, his character is from Kazakhstan. Yeah.
I know, but see, now when I hear that word, my brain only goes to the Borat, like, you know what I mean? That's
right.
what I think. That one. Okay, here's one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I can say it.
Are you going to say Mozambique?
No.
Oh, all right.
It's
Mauritania?
Huh?
Mauritania?
I'll let me spell it. Okay?
All right, I'm trying to guess ahead of you.
Mauritius.
Tius?
Yeah.
Say it again, because I thought there was one called Mauritania, but it's the Mauritius?
Mauritius.
Mauritius or more.
Yeah, you had it.
Okay. I'm guessing that's an island in the Indian Ocean.
Let's see. An island in the Indian Ocean, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's see. Okay, it is. It's the Republic of Mauritius. It's an island nation in the Indian Ocean.
Hey, all right. I got it.
Was that just a lucky guess?
No, I thought there was one called Mauritania, and I think that's the one I was thinking of, but maybe I mispronounced the name. So.
Oh, okay, very good. Let me see if there's any other weird ones. All these ones I think you know. Sweden, Thailand,
Yep.
Turkey, Ukraine, USA,
What was that
Venezuela.
one?
What?
USA. Where's that?
Where's what?
USA.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean, America?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
America.
I think we had, I think I lost my thing. I think we covered that portion. So, yeah,
Okay.
there was, what countries do you think, like, never, ever were in the pageant?
They were never ever in the pageant.
Yeah.
Atlantis.
Okay.
My guess is probably not.
That's for that one.
Yeah. I don't think any of Santa's elves. The North Pole, is that a that's not a landmass though.
Well, I don't think so now that you said that, there's people trying to get out and they're trying to get the word out that they're trapped there. The elves.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're under some pretty strict laws up there, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't share the same freedoms the rest of the world has. I don't know. That's a good question. Countries that would not participate in the pageant. I don't know.
Like a major nation.
If I had to guess, North Korea.
Yeah, I bet North Korea.
Yeah, they probably don't.
Mm-hmm. What about the country that's like? What's the country that's Palestine? What is the country that's always at war with Israel?
Well, it's Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but I don't believe that they actually are a state at this point in time yet.
Oh, they're not a state.
No, I think they're considered like part of Israel.
Oh, what about like Miss Iran? I
don't know. It's a good question. Maybe.
Like, has Miss Iran ever been?
I think they participate in the Olympics. I think so. I don't know. I'm not up on my my beauty pageant trivia, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's about it with the. Oh, the last thing I wanted to bring up about the pageant was the part about the people a lot of people, or I don't know if there was a lot, but there was protesters in South Africa that were protesting that they didn't want Miss South Africa to even be in the pageant because I think they might have something against Israel or something, and so they didn't like a good idea for her to go. So I was really curious to see if she was going to end up going that. And
I did not know about that.
What?
I did not know about that.
Yeah, and so she was like third. She actually, I was like, is she going to show up? And she was third place, so she did show up. So.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting that they were all protesting because I don't know if they have like something against Israel or something. And I think it was because it was in Israel and they have something against Israel.
It might be related to the whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be my guess. So.
And so then I was curious to see if she would show up, and then she did, and then almost won.
Wow. That's impressive. But
I thought that she answered the questions the best out of anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was my top runner, my mom and I's top runner.
Okay. I did not watch it, so maybe I can go check out her YouTube replay of her questions or something like that. So.
Right.
But
when you were little, did you watch the pageant or not really? Were you like, no?
Yeah, when I was kids growing up, because I had three sisters, and so they kind of watched it, and so it's 3 against 1 as far as what gets to be on TV, right? So I haven't seen them growing up and stuff like that. Yeah.
So did you like it, or were you like, I can't wait till this ends?
Yeah, that wasn't my thing.
Okay. All right.
I mean, maybe when I got older, like in when I was in maybe high school or early college days, then like, okay, the swimsuit competition, because I'm a guy, right? But
Right.
then I think, some more ethics as time went on. And as far as like, I don't think that it's appropriate to objectify women in those ways. That's kind of a 1950s mentality, in my opinion. So,
Yeah. It's funny because I really don't have a problem with it. I just think that it should be more rounded. That's all.
should be more what?
I think it needs to be. I think it is outdated, but I don't think it should be eliminated. Like I just think it should be updated. That's all. But not eliminated.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I'm thinking like the history of it and stuff like that. It just seems more. I don't know. Maybe it's a different thing now, but I suppose the people that are doing the pageants, it's kind of a combination between they're going to be like a spokesperson for whatever they go around the world promoting things. So in a way that it's kind of like a cross between being a model versus being like a PR person for a corporation or something like that. It's probably like a combination of those things. So I don't know.
What do you think that, like, in the Bible time with Esther? Do you think that was like kind of a biblical pageant going on there?
Yes, but it wasn't a good one. I mean, because the king of in the book of Esther, the king of Medo-Persia, he's said in the Bible the name is Ahasuerus, but most people believe him to be Xerxes. And he was a pagan king, and so he was trying to pick a new wife. And so it wasn't really like that wasn't a good beauty pageant. I'll put it that way. Like, because I don't think the women really had much choice, in the matter. So, yeah, unfortunately.
So with that one, do you think that they presented, like, do you think they had like a swimsuit edition, or do you think, like, how did
in the book of Esther?
I'm just joking.
I
am joking. I'm just saying, like, how did he get to, like, pick the winner? How did he get to find down 3, or how do you get the
that's a little bit more complicated topic, I think, than I would want to like put on a lighthearted YouTube show.
Okay.
Because I think it goes back to an Arabians having harems of women.
Oh, but I just say all the women that were supposed to compete with Esther. You know what I mean?
Well, ironically, I actually kind of think, the 1001 Arabian Nights, that story?
Yeah.
So you got like Aladdin and like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves and stuff like that. I actually think that the original author of that is Esther. Because they're like ancient old Persian stories and stuff like that. And so there's a story of this woman who told these stories. Well, it's kind of a sad story, but she was being there. I think the 1001 Arabian Nights, if I remember correctly, the plot is something like there's a king who he feels very rejected by a wife or something like that. And so he's trying to find a new wife. So he basically has a harem, and he keeps going through one wife after the next. And after he picks his new wife, the next morning he's displeased with her, so he has her executed. And so finally there comes along to this one woman who ends up being like the author of the 1001 Arabian Nights. And in order to save her life, she tells a story but doesn't finish the ending of the story. So she causes the king to try to delay her execution one more day so that he can hear the ending. And then over the time of her telling these stories over and over, the king finally falls in love with her, and I think that's how she ends up saving her life. But that's where you get 1001 Arabian Nights, because each night she has to tell a new story, and these alternative stories that then. So I actually think that that's kind of like a mythological thing in Persian history, but it probably harkens back to Esther in a way. So those stories might have been, for all we know, a lot of them might have been, versions that were originally penned by Esther. I don't know. That's my theory.
And that book with the Arabian Nights, like, because Disney took it and then, they always kind of like make it their own little version. So in order to get that story, would you have to read the like original Arabian Nights to get that story?
The Disney version? Well, I think that's probably quite a bit of an adaptation.
That's what I mean. I'm just saying to get the more like story of Esther. Would it be like better to read the book, the original book, Arabian Nights?
No, I think the Arabian Nights stories are legends and myths that harken back to this idea of this woman who was telling these stories in order to save her life. And so these might be original myths or stories that in a way went back to Esther. I'm sure they were changed over time. But if that is the case, that Esther kind of was the originator of that, then there's probably some form of that still left in the original stories.
Yeah.
Obviously would have been, transformed as they're handed down. But then there's also probably other stories that are added to it that weren't even part of that. So kind of like the telephone game, things get changed over the years.
Right. Do you think that like in 2030 that there will still be beauty pageants?
I don't know. The way this world is headed, I'm just hoping there's countries in 2030.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. I hope there's sea lions and manatees in 2030.
Oh, right. But I think with your type of awareness and activism,
yeah, that's right.
That
if we act now, if we build the canals now,
and a statue.
Yep. Yeah, statue. Yeah, exactly.
I think to be Mr. Cat. I just really like your ideas. I think you're the winner.
I can't be the winner. It's the Miss Grinch contest. I refuse to be. I decline.
That's true because you were helping with humanity more. I'm more like, solve world hunger, don't tell anybody. So I might win the Grinch then.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
You had the better answers.
Yes, so I think the Grinch goes to the Grinch, and thanks for sponsoring us tonight.
What's that?
I thank the Grinch for sponsoring us tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I hope we're not violating some kind of weird copyright because, of course, we are making this all up as we go along. There is no actual because the Grinch is an actual character, right? So there might be there is no actual Grinch sponsoring the show, just to make everyone aware, just to
right.
cause any issues here. So this is all satire, right? Legally protected satire, right? So, just for in case don't want to get a YouTube copyright strikes or anything like that. I don't know. This day and age, you can't be too careful. So, Will, is there anything else you wanted to address or talk about on the show?
I think that's about it, unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
No, just to say that I would like to congratulate you on winning the Miss Grinch contest.
Yeah.
I think you did a wonderful job. There's a lovely trophy here. And I don't really have much else. Maybe some coupons for some chocolates, some Grinch chocolates. I could probably send them to you. And maybe a 99-cent bag of barbecue potato chips. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful.
All right. Congratulations on your victory. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is the end of the show for this week's edition of the Sepotato and Paprika Show. I am your host, Sepotato. This is our lovely guest host, Paprika, a.k.a. the Miss Grinch for 2021. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and we will look forward to seeing you next time on our next show. So God bless, take care, and hope you have a wonderful week.
All right. Well, thanks for watching the Grinchy Beauty Pageant.
The Grinchy Beauty Pageant Show. Sepotato and Paprika Show. We'll see you next time, folks.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.